I think a lot of Democrats look at these numbers and say the whispers are finally showing up in this data. People are talking behind their hand. They worry about Joe Biden. Joe Biden's like that grandpa that you love, that you believe in, you owe a lot, but you start to wonder, would you give this grandpa a high-stress job for 6 more years, or would you want something else for him? That's what's being talked about. And people are scared to come out and talk and say anything about it. But I think it's important for us to have this conversation now. I think this may be the bottom for Joe Biden. He may go up as the economy improves, but right now the economy is getting better and fears about the economy are getting worse.
They're saying the quiet part out loud, gang. CNN, the most distrusted name in fake news, is openly admitting that Democrats are panicked over Biden. They're seeing it in the polls. And as polls just keep going down and down and down, and there appears to be no recovery in sight, and we're going to see exactly why Biden's reelection hopes are collapsing by the day. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your patron professor, here to help you to think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you have not already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, if you would, please share this video with friends and family. We are once again being throttled by big tech, so I need your help to get the hopeful message of this channel out to as many people as possible. So, what you just heard was Van Jones, the man who cried. He openly wept when Biden won in 2020. Well, he's crying for other reasons now, and that's the realization that Biden is literally falling apart right before our very eyes. How many of you saw this from yesterday's 9/11 ceremonies?
To renew our sacred vow, never forget, never forget. We never forget. Each of us, each of those precious lives stolen too soon when evil attacked. Ground Zero in New York. And I remember standing there the next day and looking at the building. I felt like I was looking through the gates of hell. It looked so devastating because from where you could stand.
Now, there's just one problem with that. Biden himself claimed in his book that he was in D.C. at the time. C-SPAN's records concur and corroborate that account. Biden wasn't even in New York the day after the attacks. I mean, he just blatantly lied. The dude just lied. But then again, he doesn't even know where he is right there and then. I mean, he's wandering off during ceremonies and interviews. He just picks up and leaves. He looks so old. He's got the bizarre kind of squint, that clueless, confused look. He shuffles his steps like an old man. He can barely utter a coherent sentence, let alone put 2 coherent sentences together. But it was the Wall Street Journal poll that was pretty shocking for the legacy media. It was the poll that was released over Labor Day weekend, right? Georgie Stephanopoulos called it absolutely shocking. The poll found that 75% of voters, 3 in 4, think Biden's too old to be president. 75% thinks he needs to bow out. And what was even more shocking is that included 69% of Democrats. 7 in 10 Democrats agree Biden's too old and he needs to bow out. And 60% of all voters believe Biden is cognitively deficient. He's not mentally fit for this job. This is a presidency in tatters when a supermajority of voters thinks you're too old and you're too senile to be president. You're done. You are not going to get reelected. It was an utterly devastating poll for Biden. And that's why Van Jones is saying that the Democrats are getting, in his words, terrified with Biden's prospects for 2024. Terrified. And to make matters even worse, the weaker Biden looks, the stronger and more emboldened third-party candidates like Cornel West get. David Axelrod's admitting that Cornel West, the Green Party candidate, he's absolutely nipping at Biden's heels, and he's costing Biden upwards of 5% support in all the polls, which, of course, would be devastating in states like Arizona and Georgia and Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania, which Biden needs to win. But the weaker he gets, the more emboldened third-party candidates get. But now we're getting polls coming out that show that Biden's support may indeed be collapsing like never before. Wait until you see this. But first, how many UFC fans do we have out there? We know the one and only Donald Trump is a huge UFC fan, as are the fighters of him. But have you ever wondered what they do to manage their pain? You don't have to, because a fellow patriot and a very good friend of this channel is precisely the one who provides relief to that pain, and he's here to do the same for you. You know, we all know that as we age, aches and pains are normal, but you know what? They don't have to be. And that's where the groundbreaking medical scientist Clint Winters comes in. You've seen Clint on Fox. You've seen him on this channel. He's a world-renowned health expert who's unveiled a natural pain reliever that's taking the world by storm. It's called Cono CB2. It's the 100% drug-free way to get full-body pain relief without dangerous meds. And it is the official pain reliever for the fighters in the UFC. And the best news is that Cono CB2 has no documented side effects after years of private testing. It's absolutely the future of pain relief. So whatever you do, gang, make sure to click on that link below and check out Clint's amazingly informative report on how Cono CB2 is changing lives by providing safe and powerful relief at a fraction of the cost of pain pills. Click on that link below right now.
Of all of the problems facing President Biden these days, one of his most ominous may be his dwindling support with non-white voters. Biden's support among minority voters is down 17% from 2020, according to a recent New York Times Siena College poll. Today, we're in Harlem, talking to people about why President Biden is losing the support of vital voting blocs Democrats count on to win. Do you think he's taking those voting populations for granted?
Yes, I think he is.
He's not doing too many good things for the poor people, for the middle class people.
He promised to do that stuff.
Exactly, but he has not done it.
Yeah, he's out of touch. He just needs to get up with the time or get a better team.
What is President Biden doing wrong? Why is he losing support in these voting blocs?
Because number one, he's letting too many immigrants in here, number one.
Immigration. Comes down to immigration. They haven't dealt with real America. This is a sanctuary city. It's not sustainable.
I think that the voting bloc that pushed Biden over the top were black voters, especially in some of the swing states like Georgia, Pennsylvania. He hasn't delivered to black people. And there's nothing tangible that we can say we benefited from.
Black Americans, we grew up conservative. Everything was about God, right? Work, the Bible, man, woman, child.
What I'm saying to Biden, if you're really not serving the people are going to respond just like this. They're not going to vote for you.
Any idea who you're going to vote for next year?
Not yet.
Got it.
But not Biden.
Did you vote for him in 2020? Would you vote for him again?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubt it.
Would you vote for him again next year?
No, I won't.
I am not a Trump person, but I think even though Trump, with all his turmoil, may win some of them. I hate to say that.
Who are you voting for next year?
I hope Trump. I hope my boy Trump get it, to be honest with you.
In New York, for Newsmax, I'm Mike Carter.
So there you can see for yourself. I mean, that was devastating. This phenomenon is catching the attention of pollsters ever since Trump's mugshot. Now, Rich Barris of the People's Pundit was way ahead of the curve on this one. He noticed this in his polling months back. He's been way ahead of the curve. Trump won 12% of the black vote in 2020. That was a historic high for the Republican candidate. But according to Rich, according to his polling, Trump's now polling at an astonishing 19% among blacks. And it's not just Rich's polling. Look at the latest from Fox. Trump's polling at 20% among blacks, with Biden collapsing 30 points from 91% support in 2020 to just 61% support today. This among the Democrats' single most loyal voting constituency. Now you can see why the legacy media is openly sounding the alarm on Biden. I mean, the New York Times just published a panic piece saying that their analysis has concluded that Biden's polling numbers among blacks and Hispanic Democrats are the worst since the Walter Mondale presidential debacle of 1984. Democrat analysts have not seen this low of support for Democrat presidential candidate among blacks and Latinos since freaking Mondale. This is the trend we've been following with for months now, gang. The non-white working class are defecting away from Biden in record numbers, and they're all going to Trump. They love Trump. Biden's too old. He's too senile, and now he's too out of touch, too far removed from the Democrats' traditional non-white voting constituency. In short, Biden is politically imploding right before our very eyes, and the legacy media is finally admitting it. Are you ready to join the resistance? Because I'm leading a group of dedicated, courageous patriots who can lead a spearhead into the heart of the secular globalist establishment. We punished Bud Light and Target, driven CNN and the legacy media to near bankruptcy, forced BlackRock to backtrack on ESG, and now we're seeing our conservative-dominated Supreme Court ending affirmative action and protecting religious liberty. In my Insiders Club, I show you concrete steps to take locally and online that will only keep this mass uprising going until the battle is won. Don't wait. Click the link in my description below and join my Courageous Patriots Insiders Club today.